Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to If It Inspires. I have called Empress.
Greetings, everyone.
Welcome, and of course, my uncle Uto.
Hello.
So today we are going to talk about the authenticity of a man. That's right, the authenticness of a man. So kick back, relax, because we got something good for you.
There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight from my soul.
Welcome back. When it comes to a man, oh my goodness, the mindset can go in so many different directions. People have had good experiences, bad experiences, whatever kind of thoughts when it comes to the word man. Good man, bad man, evil man, ugly man, whatever. However, how about an authentic man? And my thought process, I'll get to it in a minute. But however, I would love for, let's say, Uncle, you start. Like, when you hear the word authentic man, what does that sound to you, and how would you expand on it?
Well, an authentic man is a man who learned to live his life without an ego.
You said without an ego.
Without an ego.
Okay.
Um, when you live a life without an ego, you find you'll be able to unite people, be able to accomplish a lot because you learn to tap into different set of skills that are around you, whether it's in a family setting, whether it's in kind of like a cooperative job setting, any kind of setting that is supposed to grow or have a goal to accomplish something. If you have an authentic, in this case we're talking about a man, and not that a woman cannot play the same role, but there's something unique about when a man takes that place that he has a different impact.
I like that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that. And how about for you, Cole? When you hear the word authentic man, what does that sound like?
Man, an authentic man. I think it's very important for people to be authentic in life because then you're being your true, genuine self. Um, you're able to be a leader. It's very powerful to be authentic because you're free from all the, I guess, projections that they put on a person of being. You're not moving in your ego, like Ankh said, you're moving in your spirit.
I like that. For myself, when I hear the word authentic man, I see so many beautiful flowers. Right? I'm gonna call it flower or flowers because you can have the different colors, the reds, the yellows, the orange, the purples, and all of that stuff. And an authentic man is a person who might have all of the pressures in life after him. However, you don't even see it. Matter of fact, you don't even hear it. And he flows in excellence. Being the best that he can be at that particular moment. Being mindful of others. Being responsible. Being thoughtful. Being a helping hand. Willing to be a servant. Where he's all of these different characters all in one, that makes him unique, which then makes him grounded and makes him powerful, which then makes him beautiful. A
Yes.
flower is beautiful, right?
Yes.
You know, where we can stop, we can look at it, we can smell it, we can enjoy it, and be like, wow, you know, and it is open without discrimination. Anyone could enjoy the flower.
Yes.
Anyone can enjoy this beautiful man.
Yes.
Mm.
That
So
sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It makes me want to be an
you know, but the thing is that some people they are hung up. They get hung up on being that authentic self, you know, and just thinking from your own experiences, you know, whether you experiencing a man or you being a man and hearing other men, or even I don't know, like what can you say has been a hiccup or has been a hindrance from a man becoming authentic?
The pressures of the world.
Okay. Can you elaborate more on that?
Meaning that, you know, within the family, a job setting, you know, it causes a person to have to wear many hats. So for them to be authentic in every single role, it's kind of impossible at times.
Okay.
So they can kind of stray, you know. The ideal husband at home, you know, could stray just from moving in his ego. The same with a job, a position at work, you know. But I'm not to sit here and bring up color.
But bring it up. Bring it
Hey,
up.
it's all part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the pressures at work, as you know, as far as a black man being at work, dealing with the white man,
Yeah.
you know, he has to step out of his character to portray a role at work. So
Facts.
he's not being his true authentic self at that point,
Yes.
to where we can kind of lose ourselves because we are brought up to be a certain way in the public light.
Yeah. Yeah. And Uncle, what do you think about, you know, the hindrance or hiccup that might make a man not be authentic?
Yeah, like she hit it on the head. It's a lot of times it's the pressure of life, like you said. But the biggest one is pride.
Okay.
Okay, the pride could come in so many different directions. So it could be a fear of failure, a fear of whatever, fear
Yeah.
of. There's so many things out there.
Failure was the key word. I mean, because that's
Yeah.
what it would be.
Yeah.
Failure of anything.
Of
Of losing a
anything.
job, losing your
Losing
family.
your family and stuff like that. And so it all these things has a lot to making a man not live up to his own expectations.
Okay.
And so that's why it's important to go back to the foundation of what a man is. And from my belief, I'm raised as a Christian, I have the fact that God created man
Yeah.
and then he created a woman,
Mm-hmm.
but he made them to be one. He said that they would join and become one flesh. So I believe that the first instant to really become an authentic man is to when you get into to teach a man on how, when you take on a woman, you need that woman for you to be able to succeed. Okay, if you get into a marriage with a woman, you could succeed independently. Don't get me wrong,
Right.
but there is no success that rival the success of a woman and a man together.
Yes.
That truly love themselves. So you have an authentic man and an authentic woman who love themselves. It's there's nothing more beautiful than that.
It's a power couple.
If you could have that,
And I think that's a goal that eventually we will talk about to help straighten that for a man to be that, you know, to be that role where he needs to be.
yeah,
to add more onto what is a hindrance to a man becoming authentic, I would say the distractions that come into play. And when I say distractions, I'm talking about the television, media, image. We have all of these things that is in place that says, well, if you put on this tennis shoes,
Joneses.
Sure, yes, yeah, if
Comparing yourself with somebody.
Yeah. If you have this kind of car and you put on this kind of tennis shoes, and if you look a certain way, have these necklaces and things and all of these different things. If you have this image, you'll be all right. And so many people are they lose themselves trying to fit into this image, so that way they can feel like they are, that man, and they end up losing and disqualifying themselves. Matter of fact, far away from themselves because they're not themselves at all, but they're this image that they have successfully put together, and they still fall. So that's where that's what I see when I hear that, that distraction, that thing that makes them not become authentic, and so to dive back into what it would take to rise out of that, out of that mindset, that mentality, I think would be a mindset as saying that, okay, a car does not make you, this clothes does not make you, all of these material things does not make you authentic, but you being your core self without those things is everything. And you have to trust yourself that you are authentic and that you are good enough within yourself. And I think some people lack that mindset,
I think it takes a strong person to remove themselves from the world. And you mentioned, social media are, distractions of the world, because that's what we see within music or movies. They have a derogatory, negative outlook on a man or what a man is. Not really too many positive roles that you see with men on TV or within the music or whatnot. So for a man to really live in his true authentic self, he would definitely have to step out of his pride and remove himself from society, because if we're following our normal lives of what we see on TV or music, it's kind of hard for them to be authentic, because the perception is to be the bad boy or to have all these women, even though they might have a family at home. It's this perception that they're trying to prove to the world of who they're really not. So it would take for someone to be truly authentic with themselves, to separate themselves, to be that real man that we all need at home.
Yes. I like that.
Yeah.
It's needed. A man is a person that will stop and help an elderly person cross the street, without just driving by or just walking by and ignoring the person or whatever else. And
that's funny that you say that, because I was just thinking about that this morning. Like, we have lost the whole concept of even being nice to people anymore, because you did see men helping the elderly lady or at the grocery store helping her with her grocery bags and putting them in. You don't see that anymore, especially in my generation. I don't see that anymore. We need to bring that back.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, people I think there's a certain aspect of the culture that we are living in today, especially in the last few years, that people have really lost a sense of respect, a sense of honor, sense of watching what comes out of your mouth, a sense of being mindful of what you say and how you say it to other people. If people just say things because they say, "Oh, I don't want to be politically correct," and it has nothing to do with being politically correct. It has everything to do with being mindful about because you don't know what somebody is going through in their lives, And here you come, you say something that hit a nerve or
and
something
shut
that
them
just
down
happened.
completely.
So then you can shut them down, or you can make them explode. Either
Well,
way.
I think you hit it on the nose there when you say respect. I think the respect is gone.
Yeah.
The respect has been gone without the house. Within the household.
Yeah.
It's where we have these badass kids that don't respect the elders.
Yeah.
It even goes into our generations to where we're not even respecting the elders. the whole concept of a good man, I mean, how can we raise our kids properly if there is not that good ideal man at home teaching the offspring to be better?
Yes. I agree, and even beyond at home, even on the streets. There was a time I was at the bowling alley, and there was a 2 or 3 lanes that was open for whoever, and there was about 3 or 4 teenage boys, just roughing the lane. So they'll take the bowling ball, and they'll chucking it down the lane, and so the ball is skipping lanes and all that, and they were laughing, and here I am, I'm a bowler, and I'm watching this. Everybody else sees this, they're fuming up, but didn't have the courage to go and speak to these boys. Yes, they're 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old boys, but no one had the courage. So I stopped and went over them. Yeah, could that have been a bad thing, quote unquote? Stepping into danger? Sure, but you know what? I cannot think that way, especially with my tensions. I'm not going to come out there and yell at them. So I literally went over them and said, excuse me, by you doing that, it's not right. It's just not right. So they're looking at me like, what is it to you, So maybe because of the man that I am, right, where I am solid in myself, I said, look, number one, if you break these lanes, this is a place where people come to have fun. If you break these lanes and then the cops are called and you guys get arrested for that, it's going to cost you more money than you just doing what you're supposed to do the right way. It is not right, and it's very, very disrespectful. They're like, well, and they could not be tough anymore. They wanted to be tough because they try to have that, but they could not be tough because number one, I did not yell at them, right? But I spoke to them, and I gave voice of reason.
Legitimate reason.
And they're like, okay, and so their shoulders had to come back down and like.
No, we need more men like you in this society, because a lot of people would just turn their cheek and act like they didn't see it.
And they do, and that even it starts from home. You see, men at home would not confront their children about things, about certain things. So, if you see a child wants to mimic the culture that you think is not consistent to what you believe, you have to call that child. You have to call that child, but you have to do it in a respectful way.
Absolutely.
But see, you got to sit here and think that a lot of these kids are raising themselves, though, because the man are not, there is no man in the household. You have a woman that's raising young men, and she's probably working 2 jobs. I was one of those moms, working 2 jobs. My son pretty much raised himself. He didn't have that male influence to sit here, and I'm glad he turned out to be a good kid, but there's a lot of women out here that don't have that village to raise their kids. So these kids are raising themselves, which gangs, music, it's turning them to the streets. Straight disrespectful little kids.
And that's why it's important to identify the fact that men, as men, we have to come to a place where we recognize that if we are going to bring these children up, if we're going to procreate these children, we have to make a determination that we are going to invest time into them.
I agree.
Okay, so but it starts with
starts with the man.
Before you go into this to determine that this is where before you start, you have to determine this is where I'm going to be.
Right.
So you don't just jump at any woman that comes. And say, let's make children.
But let's say, even if so, you do get into a relationship or you get married and say it doesn't work out. It's not for you. You being the man, you should still stay in that child's life.
It should stay in the child's life.
You should never just leave the whole situation and leave the kids there without being that father figure for them.
And just say, I'm paying child support.
Right.
And that's it. And that's why first of all, you
Well, some
have
don't
to
even
be-
pay the child support. They just leave, and you don't never hear from them again. And they out there making more babies, or with another family when they're not even taking care of what they have.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We I believe that the fight that we as a man have to put up is the fight to, number one, try to save the relationship with the mother. Okay, and that's where the authentic man starts to say, okay, I got in this relationship. I need to take control of this. Not take control of her, but take control of the relationship.
Yeah.
Make sure that relationship work in a way that is good for both you and your partner.
Well, just to have a different twist to that statement, there are some men that are trapped into a relationship. I just want to, there's you have a handful of men that would love to be in a relationship, right? And you have some handful of men that are manipulated to be in a relationship, and you have some men that are trapped to be in a relationship. So those, and that's just three, right? I'm sure
Yeah.
there's more, but those three levels, or those three tiers of experience that
Yeah.
happens where a child is in the picture.
In the picture.
It determines how that man. So if the man is trapped, he's probably not in the right space, within himself, because imagine being trapped. You cannot do anything, right? Compared to someone that's manipulated, okay, they're like, okay, I do gotta be responsible. They're a little bit more compared to somebody who wants to be in a relationship where that person is all in and is really vested and all of that. So I think that it all depends on what level that man falls in when it comes to being in a relationship.
I got a question.
Yeah.
How do you get trapped?
I just gave you a high five. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Okay, so my definition of you being a man being trapped, if you're a man who is focused and who has, the potential to being this excellent man, right? This man of excellence. Well, you are a target, right? So most women, not all, but most women will study that man and try to figure out what it is, that, she can do to be in his presence and be in his, and try to be everything, right? And so once she figures that out, which most men are not mature and strong enough to be a man, to be disciplined in his craft and his focus and his vision. So if he's easily swayed because she is, she comes in swaying, smelling good, and just nice long legs, and however she is put together, right? That fits his appetite. He will easily fall entertaining that energy, not knowing that she is not being authentic herself.
Yeah.
She is coming with a mission, and so she's like, okay, I'm gonna be able to capture him, but if I can get pregnant by him or whatever, anything, so she does whatever it takes to form this relationship by even knowing that he might not even be interested, but he might be open-minded to a one-night stand, or a little exchange of that physical aspect, but boom, she's pregnant, and it's not what he
wasn't
wanted.
anticipating that.
No,
one.
not at all, right?
He just wanted the fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. And so now she's like, well, in my culture we have to be married and this and that and or else, and so this threats come upon him that threatens his vision, his passion, his business, his whatever is all threatened if he does not make this decision to stay in this situation.
Yeah.
And now he's miserable, trapped,
Yeah.
crying behind closed doors because, and trying to focus, and now he's completely distracted. And that's just my example of a man being trapped,
Well, that sounds like Mary and Delilah or somebody,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But, at the same token, that's when we all have to be aware of who we're dating and who we're attracting, because
Yeah.
at that point, we can
Yeah.
definitely fall in some bad relationships.
And that's the thing, because I'm older than both of you, at least by double digits.
Okay.
So There's nothing new
Under the sun already.
So a lot of things that you guys are going through, I went through it, and it's just many, many, many miles back.
Yeah, yeah.
But the sun was still there. Everything was there.
Yeah.
Maybe even there's few new things in there, but people don't change. People don't change.
Yeah.
If people have the same characteristics, it might be in a different setting, but the central elements of human being, which is honor, love, kindness, all those things, all those virtues, and those things never change. Every person that is born has or don't have them. So, back when I was, I probably would have said, yeah, you could be trapped. But now that I am, I said, no, you're responsible.
Yeah.
Well, that's being a responsible man, because at that point you're looking at the certain attributes that this person is carrying compared to just looking at the physical and the flesh.
Yeah.
Because when you're looking at the physical and the flesh and you're not looking at the characteristics of this person, well then of course you're going to be easy to be trapped, because you already had bad intentions from the beginning.
Nobody trapped you. You trapped yourself.
Fell for the okie doke.
Yeah.
You got in the tub.
Right.
Yeah, you just try to blame it on somebody else.
Yeah.
But you are really responsible for that.
And that's the thing.
Action.
Most people do not know how to be responsible for their every move.
And that's it.
Because what head was you thinking with at that time?
Yeah, the different
You know?
head.
Yeah.
The eyes distracted, and the other head was like, "Oh man, wow!" You know.
Yeah. Are you sure you want to pay for this?
Well, yeah, right. Because the thing is that distraction, that trap comes so subtly. It doesn't come aggressively. You know.
Yeah, but you're the one in it.
Yeah.
You're the one in it.
You know,
Nobody's telling you the water's getting hot.
Yeah.
It's that temptation for you.
Yeah, the water's getting hot.
Yeah.
Somebody's turning it on.
Yeah.
You're just getting comfortable in the water. And then next thing you know, it's too hot for you to get out.
Yeah.
So you trapped yourself.
So do you think that the man could, do you think that a man can see a naked woman and walk away without being enticed?
Well, can I answer that? I don't know if you could answer
I'm not
that.
a man, so I don't know. I would say, I'm thinking possibly. I can give you guys.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. You could see a beautiful naked woman. I'll tell you one thing. And this is when I was a realtor. I sell homes. And one day I sold this house. The people went to, they wanted to do an inspection. So before you come to inspect the house, I will call the office, the listing office, and have them clear the house. Say, I'm going into this house from this time to this time for an inspection. So just to make sure nobody's staying in the house.
Yeah.
And so I was the first to get there. So I got there, I knocked, I announced myself, nobody came to the door, so I used the
code, the combination,
and unlocked the door, took the key out, unlocked the door, went in, announced myself again, nobody came to the door, so I went and sat on the kitchen table. I got my paperwork. I was waiting for the buyer and the inspector to come. So I'm sitting on the kitchen table. I'm doing some paperwork, and like 15 minutes into me sitting there, I had this girl. I think she was about 15 or 16. Came downstairs the way God created her, and went into the refrigerator, got some juice, poured it, and said me hello, and poured the juice, and went back upstairs and said, if you need me, I'm upstairs.
Wow.
I sat there frozen. And I packed my stuff, ran out of the house, bat out of hell, and called the office.
Yeah.
The man said, what's going on? I said, there's a child in the house naked. What are you guys doing? I was so mad. So I sat in my car waiting, and then my buyer pulled up, and then the inspector put law. I said, we can't go in there until the house is clear. So
I think it takes a man, definitely if he's moving within his higher rim of himself and not with his lower part of himself, because of course if he's moving in the lower vibration, then he's going to be distracted. He's going to entertain anything that comes his way.
Yeah.
But someone that is moving with their head up here and knows what they want in life, I don't think that they would fall to temptation.
Absolutely.
It's possible to walk away. So there's nothing. Nobody can make you do something you don't want to do. I mean, well, except they have a gun to your head and say, if you don't do this, you're done. I mean, that is something that you can't. It's a choice that it's not permitted for you to have that kind of choice. So, but like she said, a man has to be able to be in a place where they're being respectful of themselves. Number one, they want to be the best of themselves, because if you're the best of yourself, then you have something to offer. If you're not the best of yourself, then you have nothing to offer. All you want is you think you're entitled to something, and there's a lot of men that have that.
I think you're absolutely right. I think for a man, he would have to respect and love himself, because he wouldn't just sit here and just sleep with anything that walks by him either, know.
Yeah, so if I know what I know now, but that's why it's important for us to have this discussion, so that hopefully as people watch this kind of, especially with the media that is out today, we're supposed to use this forum to help people that are coming behind us to learn about the things, the mistakes that we made,
Right.
because we've learned from it, but because moving forward, we have to make whoever's coming behind us to be able to be in a position where, oh my God, that is true. So you don't know what you say that will change somebody's life.
It's true.
So
as a woman, what are some of the issues you've seen that a man may be disappointed or let you down, to where you could not, there could not be that authentic picture?
Well, I think, family is very important, and regardless of how the situation unfolds, to be a real man, you are still supposed to be there for your kids. You should still be, if you need to pay that child support and you still need to assist that woman, you would do so. Still being that man, and I think that's what we need in this world, is a man to stand up for the family, to be a man, be respectful, and guide the family. I mean, that's what a man's supposed to be, is the head of the household.
Yes.
At least that's how I was raised.
Yes.
I can go back old school with it. He should be the breadwinner while the woman is at home raising the kids, because it does take two people. We have roles here. A man does one thing and a woman does another. The woman is the nurturer. The woman is the one that should be at home, providing and keeping the house clean and etc. Why the man is out providing, and when he comes home, he's there to discipline and be that strong force within the family.
yes.
I did a video a while back, targeting men, fathers to be exact, and I gave an example where in some homes there's a friction between that father and the mother, right? And so then the child or children are left in the middle. And my message of that video was, no matter what happened between you and the mother, you are still a father, and you still have to be responsible, no matter what, and some women have actually done their best to separate herself and the child and all children away from the man completely by whatever she says, but my thing is, okay, let's say it is court driven. Okay, the court saying you cannot, participate. Well, file documents. Try to figure out how you still want to interact with your child and your children. Be responsible no matter what. If there's no courts, reach out and just, what if you just call and say, hey, I just want to say hello. I didn't want anything. Just want to say, how are you doing? Reach out, because every child needs that man. They need a father, and then plus, let's say you're not the original father. A father is a father, whether it is your child, not your own child. Like you still have to have that fatherly role, all over the world. If you travel here and travel there, and you see a child, be mindful and be, hey, how are you? Are you good? Okay. But in today's society, you don't know who to trust. You cannot just let anyone in your space, in your bubble. So there's that barrier there.
Well, you kind of said a good thing. I mean, even just being a man, if you're a real man and let's say you meet a woman that have kids, you need to come in and fulfill that male role model. Not saying that you're supposed to abuse the kids or any of that nature, but you would come in and be that strong force of a male figure for these kids that are there. And this is where we are in society, is that a lot of men are not in the household, but women, we still date. But we get men in here that are not men. Let alone their fathers that don't want to be a father. You mentioned something else, but I forgot what I was going to say to that. We just have to do better as a whole. Oh, I was going to say women. And then you get some of these women out here that want to play games and use the kids with the father when there is good men that really want to be in their children's life. But then they're mad because the father don't want to be with them no more, so then they sit here and play these games.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be this tick for tat, okay, if you guys are not together, but it still should be for the kids.
Yeah.
Period.
Because the kids are innocent. They're innocent, and so they need both parents. They need all that love. They need that both parents.
We have two different roles.
Yes, and grandparents and friends and all. They need all of that. It takes a village. Yeah,
it does take a village.
Yes, So for a man, if you're out there and you feel like you are, like the tiers that I use, right? The tiers of, if you are all in, no matter what, that's one tier, right? And the other tier is, if you are manipulated, right? Or if you're trapped, right? So whichever tier you're at, for you that is all in, kudos to you for that part, being who you are, and being a man of excellence. So kudos to that part.
Being a good man.
The ones that's been manipulated and you're doing your best, you are needed. You are needed to be your best still continuously, because guess what? Every child and every person is looking up to you, and so you being that role model really helps, and the one that has been trapped, I'm sending you great positive energy because I know you need it, like I know for a fact you need it,
How about untrap yourself?
Well, yeah, you can run, but you can't hide,
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Push the reset button.
Okay.
Because you can do that.
Yeah, you sure can.
Push the reset button. And the reset button is about you.
Yes.
Okay? And I remember when I was a child, or when I was raising my kids, I'd say go to the corner. I said push the reset button and let's start over. And let's rewind, let's see what we did.
Yeah.
And what was wrong, and then evaluate, take a true appraisal of the thing, and let reasons take over.
Yeah.
And try to resolve it before we move forward and start exploring the future. So
I mean, you can always push the reset button, but sometimes toxicity is still there in between those two
And you
people,
can't control
and you
it.
cannot stop it. You,
you
cannot control
but
it.
you can control you.
You can control yourself.
I'll tell you one thing about self-control. We talked about that in one of the videos.
Yeah.
Self-control is the most powerful tool you have in any circumstance.
It boils down to worth. When you know your worth, you move differently.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
I
know?
agree.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
that self-control is the biggest thing that you have. You know, do not allow anybody to make you do something that you will not do. Okay, you have to be intentional about your action. You have to come to a place where you determine, I want equity. If I spit, I want that spit to mean something.
Yes.
I want that spit to have something coming back.
Yes.
So when you have self-control, you are actually working for equity. You want every action that you take to have results,
Yeah.
good results. And that has nothing to do with anything that is going on around you.
Yeah.
It just means that you know what you want and you are focused on getting it and you will get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what happens,
I like it.
as long as you have breath.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it, because when you start looking to control things that are outside of you, you ultimately lose control, because that thing outside of you takes you into their orbit and spin you around,
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, spit you out,
Yeah.
and then you are eliminated from the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Your power is within. You
Yeah.
can only control yourself.
you control yourself. You stay grounded and control yourself. Let that hurricane, tornado, you stay hung into your thing and you solidify. You go deep and stand. The next thing you know, it's all calm. And then
Yeah.
you know the sky is clear.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, the birds are singing. Next thing you know, the butterflies are out.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, all these things are happening because you stayed focused
Yeah.
on what is important.
Yes.
And that's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like to add to that as well too. If you feel like you're being attacked left and right, sometimes you don't know what that means or the definition of that. And most of the time you will not even see it. You will not see it, that you will not see the meaning of it until you look back at it, right?
Mhm.
When you reflect and you look back at it, after some time later. So if you ever been attacked, it's important to compose yourself and stay grounded. Stay whole. You don't have to attack back. You don't have to yell back.
No.
You don't have to punch back. You don't have to throw nothing back, except for just be like, take a deep breath, and then try to process on, why is this person yelling at me, or why are they attacking me? Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Because eventually it will make sense why you went through that situation.
Yeah. I take like this. You come home and she's just talking and she's spitting and things are coming out, or he's being mad and stuff like that. And you go to the refrigerator and pour a glass of ice water. Hey, baby, would you like some?
That diffuses everything instantly. She's gonna be done. Like, why?
Or take it
Are
and
you
throw
being
at you. No, or take it and throw at you,
Yeah.
one way or the other.
Yeah.
But if you do that situation will eliminate itself.
Yeah.
But you will stand.
Yes.
I think you said the key word there, though. Breathe. I think
Breathe.
that is the major key point of when you're in any type of stressful situation, argument, or dealing something that is about to take you over the edge, is to sit back and
And
breathe.
Breathe.
That was breathing has been one of my elements I've used for years for me to be the man that I am today. I've dealt with situations that I just take a deep breath and go for a walk just to calm down.
Yes.
Because the person in front of me that's causing this argument did not deserve to see the ugly side of me. They don't deserve and I would not wish that on anybody.
Your emotions just all over the place.
Ooh, it's not beautiful. It's not, But like I said, that person did not deserve to experience it. So because I know the beast that's in me, right, I have to tame it.
Yeah.
I have to tame it. So, that deep breathing helps me stay calm. Like I said, I might have to go for a walk for an hour, or even 2 hours.
How long did it take you to realize that you had that dark side to you, to where you knew you had to take a break and move? Because a lot of people don't realize when they click, and it's too late.
Yeah.
Well, I think for me, I have to give credit to when being in the gangster lifestyle, because you move from 0 to 100 just like that, instantly, because when something's presented in front of you, you have to react instantly. We're always on guard and always on standby at all times. So knowing that anything can trigger that, right? So let's say I'm on probation or parole, and I'm at home, and my girl is like, I'm gonna call you a probation officer. I'm ready to, react, because she is pushing triggers that she should not be pushing, but it's done intentionally. So when I realize that those kind of triggers impact me and pulls out that
Negative.
other side of me, okay, and she's mad at me for whatever reason, so let me calm down and try to understand what she means, or what she's trying to say, or what she's trying to do, or let's say it's not her, let's say it's another man, that's coming after me. Let me calm down and try to understand before reacting, and that's helped me out for me to give passes left and right. So I give a lot of passes left and right, where they don't get to experience that other side of me,
Well, I call that emotional intelligence, because once you are able to acknowledge your emotions and you're able to control your emotions, knowing that it's just a state of mind that you're in, man, that's the most powerful thing that you can have, is to be able to control your own emotions.
Absolutely.
Instead of reacting and acting a fool and getting out of character and then doing something that you maybe regret down the line, that you could be in prison or whatever it could be. Just off of that first reaction,
Or somebody could shoot you. Could you didn't know you reacted. You didn't know they have a weapon.
Yeah.
And now they'll take you out and call it self-defense.
It could be anything. It doesn't have to even be with somebody else. It could be anything. Like one day I was driving to the airport. I'm trying to get to the airport on time, and then guess what? I had a flat tire. At that moment, while I could hear the tire, I had to be calm, right? I need to be at the airport within 45 minutes. I'm 20 minutes away. Flat tire. What do? I pulled over without even thinking. I just like I said, I took a deep breath, went to the back. I'm busting the nuts, just right. But then the jack that comes with the car, will not. It's just I can't find a place to fit it. And out of nowhere, this guy pulls up. You need some help? You need a jack? I'm like, yes. And he had the floor jack. I was so thankful, but I'm humble. I'm still focused.
Yeah.
I'm calm. And he brings the jack over. You know what I'm saying? Just pull the tire out, and he's helping me. Complete stranger, right?
Yeah.
You change the tire. Working together, put the thing back up. It was like the race car, the NASCAR thing, and you have to pull over and then whoop, whoop, so it happened so fast, and I was back on the road and made it to the airport on time.
Yeah.
If I didn't take a deep breath at the beginning, I would have panicked, I'd be frustrated, and then and nothing
and all that
good
yeah.
But because I was calm and collected, everything worked to my favor, and I was still be able to be on track. And so breathing for me has been my everything. Like to think things and just breathing, being calm, think clearly, and then execute.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really powerful, and that's the essence of an authentic man. Is to have a go-to. You have a go-to. It could be a little blanket.
Yeah.
That you have.
Yeah.
That is your go-to place.
Yeah.
You go there. That's your refuge.
Yeah.
That's your strong tower.
Yeah.
That's your place. That's of safety, and you could work from that place, and you'll see mercy will follow you,
Yeah.
goodness will follow you, all these things will follow you when you have that place that you can go to. So the most significant aspect of being authentic is to be able to be in a place where you can bring peace, you could bring order, you could bring organization into whatever setting that you are. It could be in the family, it could be in the workplace, it could be in a church, it could be anywhere. You bring that serenity to a place. Once you bring that serenity, people start to trust you, people believe in you, people have faith in you. You become a person that people call when they need help,
Yes.
when they need things to be taken care of. People call you. That's the aspect of being an authentic man. So you're working, you're not, like she's saying, you're not working out of ego. You're working from the spirit,
Yeah.
a spiritual place where you call things that are happening as if, not that they're not happening, but it means that I got this.
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah.
I'll put this back together. My family, I'll put my family back together. My relationship, I'll put my relationship back together. So that's what the significance of being an authentic man is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I mean, taking accountability for a man to take accountability for his own actions or whatnot is definitely being authentic.
Yes.
You know, just being an authentic person, man or woman. You know,
Yeah.
taking accountability for
Yeah.
your actions.
Yeah. Yeah. But for the sake of a house, a home, I think it starts with the man. Okay. It starts with the man. What kind of woman do you choose to be with? Have you thought about what the boundaries of the relationship is? What you're willing to do, what you're not willing to put up with? And she talked to you about hers. Do you guys respect those boundaries? And then when kids come, have you guys make a determination that this child, we have to agree, if there's a dispute with the child, we have to agree that you and I are never going to be separated. We always stand together.
Yeah.
So when there's a situation where the child comes up, we go to huddle.
Yeah.
But you said the key word respect, because
Yeah.
you got to respect your spouse, or
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Both
respect the
of you.
relationship.
You guys
Absolutely.
are you have to huddle.
Yeah.
I agree. Or if there's a conflict about how this is going to go,
Yeah.
you guys resolve it without the child. The child doesn't have any business. The child, you guys created that child in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
When you create in the bedroom, you kick him out of the house. So the bedroom is where you guys go to huddle to resolve things. You resolve it within yourself, and then you come out with a united front. And that child have no place to go.
I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has no place to go.
Communication.
You go to mom, you go to your dad.
Yeah.
You hear what your dad said.
Yeah.
You go to dad, you heard what your mom said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you guys stand. So he can't play both of you.
Yeah.
So now he knows. I better do this.
You're right.
Yeah.
There. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right, because a child already knows how to push the envelope and knows how to manipulate at a young age.
Mhm.
You know.
And they
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're good at it.
They're very
They're
good.
good. And so if there's not a united front,
Yeah.
between the man and the woman,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
child will come in there and split.
And split, and then next thing you know, you separated
Yep.
because of the child.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, the child continues that lifestyle,
same pattern.
Growing up.
the same
Yep.
pattern, and keep going. Then you have generations
Yep.
that
Of
are
that.
broken,
Yep.
and they're
And
not.
that cycle repeats itself
suits
over and
up.
over again.
So we have to, a man, I don't care what age they are, they have to come to a place and say, okay, this is where it stops.
Yes.
I'm breaking this chain, and we're gonna start from here. We're gonna do it right, and it starts with me.
Or that man has to be disciplined within himself.
He
Number
has
one,
to be mature enough within himself, you know.
and before he attempts to encounter any woman as far as a relationship, he needs to know, number one, himself, right? He needs to know himself, then he needs to know why he needs a woman. Once he understands that aspect, okay, he cannot just pick any woman. That woman has to fit, you know, and he has to fit whatever she needs in a man as well too. And then they communicate. Then they have to have this understanding of communication, where they can communicate and they understand each other well.
This
So
is
that-
what I like. This is what I don't like.
Right, you know.
You
So
know?
when they have the understanding,
Yeah.
then they can move together no matter what. If they have to jump, they have to run, they're always together. If they have to bend corners, they're always together. And so when they bring in a new child or whatever, they're still together no matter what. You
Yeah.
know, and they raise that child in excellence. Because guess what? That child's gonna be a sponge watching mommy and daddy, you know, in everything. You know, and so as long as, you know, so it takes that man to know himself and
Yes.
know what he needs in a woman. Just because this other woman might look like a potential something, if she's not it, she's not it. Leave that to the side and keep moving forward until you find that it for
that
you.
person.
And then because when you find that one and you guys are one, you know,
Yeah. It's
so
hard
that
to-
way
it's
you
hard
don't
to
get
break.
trapped. You know,
You
know what I'm saying?
You
You know
get
what
full
I'm saying?
circle.
Yeah.
So that man trapped himself.
oh yeah, you know,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
You know, and when you're trapped, everything's divided, everything
Yeah.
falls apart.
Yeah.
But when you are focused as a man,
Yeah.
you know, and you're patient through your craft, through your art, through your movements,
Mm-hmm.
and you see and you connect, and you guys build together, and it's authentic. Nothing will come
Nothing can
between that.
penetrate.
Nothing,
A house divided.
absolutely nothing.
A
And
hand that
everything
stands
builds.
Together.
You know,
Yeah.
I made a mistake once, and I grew from that.
Yeah.
If I
I
make a
made a
mis-
mistake twice.
See? So there'll be no three times, right?
So there'll be
no three times, no.
No 3 times.
Yeah.
But that's the joy about living, having an opportunity. Living not for you, but for be able to pass it on. And they say, hey, watch out. I went down that road. There's booby traps. You
Yeah.
know?
Be mindful,
Watch,
yeah.
watch your steps.
Yeah.
Because these things are very important. I mean, life is short.
Very.
Very short. But the most beautiful thing in life is to be in a relationship with somebody that you love, somebody that you respect,
Yeah.
somebody that you could. Their worst day is not going to make you want to, do things that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
You agree to.
But then you're there to
resolve.
console that person when they're
Yeah.
having that bad day.
Yeah.
You know.
You agree to resolve problems.
Yeah.
Before you have problems, because it's not problems. It's not that if it will come. It is going to come.
Yes. And
It is going to come.
I would love to add this,
Yeah.
if you guys don't mind.
Yeah.
So, a man or authentic man, when like you said, things are gonna come, right? I feel that the man has to have multiple hats, right? So, number one, he is the husband, he is also the boyfriend, and he is also the lover, he's also the protector, he's also the friend, he's also the best friend, and here's why. When she can come to him about something that she's dealing with, right, whatever it is, that comes, his shoulder is ready to listen, whether he needs to be in the friend hat, right, and he listens. And men, listen to this carefully. When your partner comes to you and shares whatever she shares to you or he shares to you, right, that it is safe with you, right? Never to be put back in that person's face ever, right? You don't throw it back, you don't use it against them, because you are supposed to be that safety net. You're supposed to be that person that they can come to you about anything. The minute you throw it back in their face, whenever down the line, that will not happen again. They will not come to you again. But anyway, so back to what I was saying. Yeah. So when you have these different roles, sometimes you have to be the boyfriend. Oh my man, I see you. Oh my goodness, yes. You have to be all of these different things to her. to your partner. You have to be everything, because that's what makes it work as well. That person doesn't have to go out looking for somebody else to fulfill this.
It's different things.
Yes, yeah. You can be
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
within that, within you, and when you can have that quality in you, man. So,
That's beautiful.
and check this out. I'm gonna add one more in that equation. So let's just say me and the guys are out walking around, right? We're walking around and we see this fine girl coming this way. What are we gonna do as guys? We're gonna look. We're like, dang, and we have our own thoughts within us, within ourselves, right? But let's say the same guy is with his woman, right? And they're walking, and the same girl walks by. The woman sees the girl, but then the woman is looking at the man to see if he's gonna look at the girl. So the guy has to keep his face straight. Deep breath. I say, and this is my own thought. I say that the connection should be so beautiful that, yes, we both see this person. Matter of fact, we can have a conversation about this person that we see, because if I'm going to be one way with my friends and I can be the same way with you, that's the beginning of a separation.
Yes.
Same thing if it's a man walking, a woman wants to look at the man, because if you're with your girlfriends, you could be like, dang, woo, and I'm just being real, right? Like that thing has to be open. It has to be open, where you are the friend, the boyfriend, the husband. You have to have all of these things in you, and it helps eliminate any potential, low level frequency in that union.
I like that.
That's some strong stuff.
Yeah,
there. That's some
absolutely.
strong stuff. The thing about it is that there has to be a level of authenticity. Again, we talk about authentic relationship here, but in this case, an authentic man, where you have to have this discussion with your partner moving forward. Before you guys get into a relationship, you have to tell this person, this is my weakness.
But it's the bond and the friendship that
Yeah.
you have together,
Right.
that you guys are able to move in that light.
In that light, but you also have to let people know what your weaknesses are, because we all have our strengths, we all have our weaknesses. That's where communication. People say, "Oh, you ask too many questions," like Lizzie. She always tells you want to know details. I say yes, because details is important. That's where the devil is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where the devil is. It's in the detail. I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on. I want to know as much as you think I should know, because I don't need to
There
be
shouldn't be
surprised.
nothing hidden, right?
I shouldn't be
Just open.
surprised about
Yes.
anything, So that's why I believe to be able to go to that place where you walk around, be able to admire a beautiful person that God created. She should be able to have confidence that this behavior is not unique. That you could have this same reaction without any other intent behind it. It's just a very immaculate, legitimate emotion that is within you. You should be able to have that. Instead of just being able to do it, even when she's there, with without being able to say she's human too.
Yeah.
So to put that kind of expectation that somebody is going to be able to trust that this is just very, very isolated stuff.
But that goes for like a very secure relationship. You would have to have a secure
A
relationship.
very,
to
and that's
sit here.
but it has to be built back there, though.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And that
Yeah.
friendship, because you can't have an insecure woman or an
Yeah.
insecure man, and
Right.
you're over here
Yeah.
acknowledging
Or
another good-looking
another
person over there
yeah,
because that
yeah.
person's gonna feel some
Right,
type
it's
of
got
way.
some side way, yeah.
And then that's when you
Yeah,
said we all
yeah.
have weaknesses
Yeah.
or strong points. Then you
Yeah.
would build your woman up within her insecurities.
Security, you let
and
them
make
know.
right.
You let them know this is my weakness. If you ever find me do something like this, and if it bothers you, please call me to attention.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mhm.
so she knows
Yeah.
that you trust. She have trust in you instead of just doing it out of just because.
Yeah.
You know that it would be hard. I'm a very jealous person.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm with you, I'm with you.
You're 100% all in.
I don't. That's one place that I don't want to share with nobody.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
You see what I'm saying?
that's
And
understandable.
and I don't care what it is. This is something that you and I have decided that we're going to share this aspect of our life for the rest of our life together. It's unique
Yes.
to you and I.
Yes.
You asked me that question 20 years ago.
That's a different story, right?
It's a different story because I don't know what I know now. But know what I know now. You number one, you live longer
Yeah.
because you will have peace.
Yes.
You save a lot of money
Yeah.
because you're not out there just throw. You know how much money I throw away
On dating women.
on dating.
can only
I'm just
imagine.
going different. I mean, it adds up.
Yeah.
So
course.
there's a lot of loss that goes with that, and you have nothing to show with it other than to look back and say, "Oh, I was
You
with
got
her."
some memories.
I got some memories.
Right.
So who cares?
Yeah. You got quantity.
Who really cares?
You got count.
Why you could have been building something for your children. That money, you put that money into a stock market for your child, you know, and they'll never have to pay for college. So whenever money they make, they build. Now you have a legacy.
Right.
You're building a legacy just because you did not chase the cat.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did not chase the cat.
Yeah.
You let the cat be.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then you go woo somewhere else and your children are going to school.
Yeah.
You know, your wife is happy.
Yeah.
You have a nice house, you build an equity.
Yeah.
This is a lot of things. So that's a lot.
And you're doing it right.
And you're doing it.
But by communicating, and expressing, because
Yeah.
most men are not vulnerable to express themselves and say, "Hey, look, I feel this type of way, or I'm insecure because of this."
Yeah.
Most men, try to portray this image,
Yeah.
like they are, but yet, so I give you kudos for being able to communicate and say, "Hey, this is who I am," because that goes a long way.
It saves a lot of It saves a lot of. I would say the women respect that.
Yeah.
They respect you for being, for not being acting tough.
Yeah.
You know,
For being honest.
for being honest.
Yes.
For letting them know, hey, this is what happens.
Yeah.
You know, it's really important. And I tell you what, if I say half of the men are authentic in the way we are talking about, you will have a society that is much functioning because you will have more families that are brought up in a way that is good for society.
Yeah.
Really.
I agree with that, and which is why we're talking about it.
Yeah.
We're here to motivate and inspire that,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
encourage it. That is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But we have to encourage our fellow friends, the men out here to be open and honest. I think, we've hidden in a shell for so long. A lot of people are scared to admit their weaknesses to others,
Yeah.
That's just not something easy for the human person, period. Women
Yeah.
are men to express what their weaknesses are.
And that it be protected and safe. So if somebody opens up and talks to you about something, it's between the two of you,
Mhm.
and not, let me phone my guess what I just heard? Yeah,
Right,
you know,
right.
oh my God, you know. And
Girl,
then-
let me tell you what he told me.
right, right.
I wonder why we got these issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that has happened over and over again, which is why, again, we're all separated. You know, think about it. Like, let's say a man and woman gets together. What do? Not immediately, they dump their friends. They know their friends and then try to build this foundation. Whereas your friends has been your livelihood. So if you meet somebody new, well, they gotta see how you flow with your friends, because your friends should always stay no matter what.
That's right.
You know, they should always stay, and then this new person have to earn their way in, even though they qualify, but they gotta earn their way in to commingle with your livelihood, because you and your friends and family is your
It's your life.
is your livelihood.
You shouldn't have to abandon your friends
But
because
most
you have a
people-
relationship.
But most people, like for myself, where I remember I was in a relationship, so I cut off all my girlfriends. You know, I cut them all off because I'm in a relationship now, and I know I cut off a part of me. You know, because my friends were my friends. You know, however we communicated and built and laughed and whatever else that we did, you know, these are my friends, and I made that mistake. That should be a mistake that does not happen anymore. You know, because when I
So I have
can,
a question on that. So
Yeah.
you said girlfriends. I mean, just it was platonic girlfriends. It was not girls that you were dating or you had sex with.
honestly, yes, you could have sex with somebody, right? But then it does not work out in a relationship. But then the friendship part is beautiful, and that sexual part does not entertain anymore. It's not entertained anymore, and it's just been a solid friendship. So I do have friends like that where I have crossed that line, but we don't do it anymore. But we're just friends. The purity of true family and friends, right? Where they can be considered family. So that should not be a measuring stick that you use to disqualify a person because that person has a friend that they have crossed the line with.
Yeah.
And that goes with the woman too. She might have a guy friend that she slept with, right?
Can I say something?
Yeah,
though?
yeah.
Not to cut you off, but I think that's the problem with relationships now is that a lot of people don't close the door on their exes and they leave the
Yes.
door open so this
Yes.
woman or this man can come back into your relationship
Yeah.
and they're right there because they have access to you.
Right.
How can you have a healthy relationship with a new person
Yeah.
when you have all your old exes there
Yeah.
and they can call and you're
Yeah.
commingling with them or
Yeah.
whatnot? You don't. People have motives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's I'll be with her on that.
Okay.
Because if it didn't work out,
There's a reason
there's
why
a
he's
reason
an
it
ex.
didn't work out.
Or
He's
she's an ex.
She's
you know?
an ex. And that some doors, if you're gonna open a new door, some doors need to be closed.
Okay.
And especially when it comes to opposite sex friendship, they are not. There's a lot of people encourage it, and I bow. I bow. I would not keep it.
I'm kind of like with you on that
Yeah.
one because
I
it's
would
kind of
not.
hard.
Yeah,
I mean,
I-
it's even hard
yeah.
now to even know
Yeah.
what a real man friendship is because
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 they all try to bet me. So
Yeah.
Right. Right.
they're not really.
It's hard. Yeah.
I can't say. I mean, I do have one friend, you
Yeah.
know, one out of many, but that I can really say that is a
It's a
platonic
personal
friend,
friend,
and that
yeah.
is my best friend. But
Yeah.
other than that, I can't say that I
Right.
have those friends.
And you shouldn't.
Yeah, because they
You
got bad
should,
motives
because,
and intentions.
because especially with men have motive. And then
They
on
move
the other
with their
side,
lower
and then-
extremities.
yeah, and then on the other side, there are also women who have bad
Bad motives.
motives also.
Mhm.
So, in because of the danger that such friendship posed to a new relationship, it should never be encouraged. It should, because it's tough. Have you ever seen? You see a magnet? Have you ever brought two magnets together and tried to make them
Pull them
go?
apart.
Yeah.
Two magnets.
Yeah.
Two magnets won't go.
Yeah.
It's opposite attract, and all it takes is one little thing. And next thing you know, how did I get in this bed?
Right.
Who took my clothes off?
I was just coming over just to tell you some problems that I had, and now we done had this entanglement.
And then you know, or maybe a child come into play.
Right.
And your wife would go, how the heck?
Yeah.
Where was I?
Yeah.
I thought it was just friend. Or your husband go,
Mhm.
oh, I always
thought
knew
Billy was
something
your
was
friend,
happening.
right.
I thought this. So yes, those relationships, as much as they're beautiful is, then they're not. They're not.
Well, the thing is, there are some people that are grimy in that sense, right? That even as a single person, I don't trust you. I don't like you. Those kind of people should not be in your equation of your foundation.
I'll say
But-
this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got something.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
oh,
No, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
Come on
No.
with
I'll
it.
go next.
If you're gonna have friends like
Mhm.
that, they should be friends to both of you.
Yes.
I agree.
It should be friends to both of you. It should not be. You should not have a set of friends here, and she has a first set of friends there. You guys are one. You are one.
Yes.
You guys are one.
Yes.
If you do anything that's harmful to her, it's you doing it to yourself. If she does anything that's harmful to you, she's doing it to yourself. So you guys are one. You have friends. Those friends are together.
Right.
And majority of the time, you're gonna have friends that are also married. And even that is dangerous.
Yeah.
So you have to be very, very careful. And a lot of times you have to say, I will not go here to this kind of place without my wife. And so it's individual, what I said, dedication
Mhm.
or commitment.
Commitment.
To they say, these are things that I will not do. I will not go have lunch with this person by myself. I will not go anywhere with this person by myself. My wife will always have to be with me in these settings.
And I agree with
Yeah.
you because, I mean, you can have men and women that are supposedly friends that could self-sabotage your own relationship because
Yeah.
of whatever hidden motives that they
That they
have or
have.
attractions that you might not even be aware of,
Yeah.
but they will push it on you and have you ruin your whole relationship just by what they might say.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when you're grounded as a person, right, you know who you are as a person, and you're out there looking for whoever you're looking for, and you have your friends. So when you, like I say, this person has to also see me commingle with my friends as well too, because then that's when we can have a dialogue, to understand. So who's that person? What's that person? How long have you known this person? And you have that communication to understand, so that way it's an understanding, right? But if you're not grounded in yourself, you're easily influenced. Anything goes, and you're gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
But you have to be grounded and solid. Number one, knowing yourself. Number two, knowing what you need in the person, and then from there, number three, building a healthy foundation. As
But
one.
when you grounded in yourself, that's good. But when somebody else come in, you guys are grounded together now.
You're building that foundation to
Yeah,
ground
you
together.
yes, but you are independent. You're unique in your way. You both bring different aspects to the relationship, but have to have a mindset that you are now one.
Absolutely.
That you are now one. So once you have that, there's a process of elimination that comes to play, because there are
Great.
things.
Because you have the naysayers in the
Yeah.
back, supposedly your friends,
Yeah.
your
All-
homie
all
could be
fa- all
looking at your
family.
woman,
Yeah, all family, yes,
Family too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but now you have a goal that is not just your goal. This goal is now a univision. It's not a single vision anymore. It's univision now, but it's coming into two. So, the time that you're spending out there with your friends are eliminated.
Okay, let me add one point real quick. When I say friends, I'm not just talking about people, a whole bunch of people. I'm talking about people that you can be yourself, where you can cry, you can, and is that oneness. If you're lucky to have one friend, you are lucky, right? So I just want to clarify that part. It's not
Okay.
just because I might know 1,000 people, so my 1,000 friends will be in my immediate circle. No, no.
Yeah.
But there's one or maybe two that are authentic.
Yeah.
Whether we cross the line or didn't cross the line,
Yeah.
whether they're male or female,
Right.
that no matter what, like, it is safe.
And that's fine.
Okay.
And that you can have that.
Okay.
You could have that, but you can't have it by yourself.
It has to be. It's all going to be one unit.
Yeah.
You know.
It's if you are like I said, it's important that this person, all you is your job is to make sure that your partner, your wife, or your husband is as secure in you as you are secure in them. And that means everything has to be eliminated. All as there cannot be any room for suspicion. Because when there's room for suspicion, guess what's coming? Destruction.
Yeah. And that's a tough road. That's a tough road to be in. Especially insecurities. It's hard when you have an insecure self. It's hard to really build
But
something.
you don't want to be with someone that's insecure. These are things that you weed out.
Right.
I'm saying we've already passed that. Now you with somebody that this is the person I want to be with the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So you know that all the boxes are checked.
Yeah.
When it comes to what you want in that person, that's who I'm talking about now. So I'm already qualified that you don't have somebody that's insecure, but you also have to consider that this is a person that's a human. That person is human too, and if you decide to be in a relationship, you have to protect her feelings. You have to protect her everything about them. You have it is your job to protect that person, to protect your husband,
And it works both ways.
and it's her job to protect you.
And make you feel
Okay, because
comfortable.
she's not gonna call you and say, "Oh, I'm having a lunch with Joe." Who's Joe?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Compared to
and now Joe is in his head.
right. Compared to before this lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, honey, I'm going to be meeting up with Joe and having lunch.
Yeah.
You already have an
Yeah,
advance
but
notice, and you know
I
who
need
Joe
to know
is.
who Joe is.
Right.
I didn't know who Joe is.
Yeah,
By the
yeah.
way, you shouldn't be having lunch with Joe by yourself. Well, these are real.
Right.
These are real
Absolutely.
things that people are afraid to talk about.
Yes.
And they're saying that we're too proud to say, "Oh, I don't want to appear to be insecure." What the heck?
Yeah.
This is you.
And
That's
that's
my
how people
wife.
start cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to take it upon yourself. These are things you talk about.
Yeah. Talk
Before
Keyword,
going
talk.
to a relationship,
Talk
you
to one another.
communicate about
Yes.
these things.
Yes.
These are things we don't do.
Yeah.
These are things that I don't like. These are you make sure that boundary is there, and when somebody crosses that boundary, you hold their feet to fire. You call them to the carpet and you say, "We need to talk about this."
Can we elaborate on Joe for a minute?
Yes.
Okay. Because like for me personally, a breathing exercise really helps me. So
Yeah.
if you get a phone call, "Oh, I'm having lunch with Joe, can I call you back?" And your whole mindset is, "Who's Joe?" Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't take a deep breath, you're about to pop your own
You might-
mindset.
yeah.
Your mind is gonna be
Yeah.
running.
Yeah.
So taking a deep breath, taking a deep breath. Yeah, you don't know who Joe is, and then whenever you get back and you reconnect and you communicate, and you just say, "Oh, so how was your lunch?" Instead of saying who's Joe,
Yeah.
how was your lunch? Oh, it was great. It was a person that wanted to come look at this land, and it just happened. We had to have a meeting and talk. So we
Yeah.
talked, and here's this land, and and I was thinking about you because you wanted to buy this beachfront property, and
Yeah.
da 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 da.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So before you jump at who's Joe,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like take a
Yeah.
deep breath,
Yeah.
and give the
And
opportunity.
opportunity for things to play out. I understand. We
Yeah,
understand that.
yeah.
But in this aspect, we're talking about it's not. I mean, we're going somewhere else with that. But we're talking about as far as friendship is concerned.
Okay.
Okay, we're talking about as friendship is concerned. Now, all of a sudden,
A new person.
there's somebody is or you having lunch with somebody that is supposed. Even if you knew them, if you guys know of that person, and then you having lunch or you happen to have lunch or stuff like that. It's tough. So it's important to have the mindset that I have to protect coal.
Yeah.
You know why I protect coal? Because I love coal.
Yes.
Because I don't want coal to have a bad night.
Yes.
I don't want her to be laying in the bed and thinking
And
about
worrying about
worrying
anything.
about it. So it is my duty, it's my job as a husband to protect her.
Yes.
And it is her job as my wife to protect me.
Yes.
And that has to be something that is established moving into a relationship. So you guys work within that concept, you will never fail. You leave no room for suspicion when it comes to that. Anything that happens, you talk about it. Oh, this person stopped by the office. This is what they talked about. Or they said, oh, they want to talk about land. Let me call my husband. And let
So we
me
can
tell
all go
her.
to lunch.
So we can go to lunch because I can't make any decision without my husband anyway.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So these are things that you have to, it has to be predetermined that when this thing, because these things don't just happen out of the blue.
Right.
They are going to happen.
Yeah.
As you move on in life.
Yes.
So you make a determination that there will be no surprises. But because when surprise comes, guess what's coming next? Mistakes.
Yeah.
And those mistakes come in an inadvertent way. You know what inadvertent means? It just,
Yeah.
oh my God,
Yeah.
it happened.
How did we get here?
Yeah.
I
And
can't
that's-
believe I did
I
that.
can't
Yeah.
believe I
Oh my
did
God,
that.
yeah.
And then when inadvertent come, guess what's comes next? Justifiable excuse.
That's right.
You justify why you did it, or excusable neglect, or this is, and then guess what comes after that? Fraud.
Yeah.
Because now you try to hide your action, your
Yes.
deed, because it was bad.
Yeah.
So you live in a lie, and that's called fraud.
Yes.
And guess where that is going?
Straight
Nowhere good.
Yep. Straight down. Straight down.
I like the way you put that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's important to protect. We have to protect each other.
Again, key
This
word
is
is communicating. Communicating
Yeah.
to comprehend, to understand one another. You know.
Yeah.
Like I said, when you hold within yourself as a man, right? You want to hope that you meet a woman that's whole in herself. You
Mhm.
know. And that way, okay, you guys are equal on the same wavelength, and then you communicate
Yeah.
and have an understanding of what you guys' needs are. And once you understand that aspect, you know,
I don't know if you
build.
guys watch this movie. It's called the beautiful woman with
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman.
Okay.
You see that movie?
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter what that person has been through. Everybody's got the authentic side of them.
Yes.
So the past, a lot of time we put too much stock in the past. You can meet somebody today and your meeting with that person reset that person's life.
Yes.
And reset your life.
I agree with that 100%.
So,
Uncle.
but
yes.
is the willingness to be authentic
Yes.
in all ways and be fully disclosed. This is what I am. This is where I've been. This is where I'm going.
Yes.
Will you travel with me? Are
Yes.
you willing to travel together? When you guys agree to travel together, you mean you've agreed in all things.
Yes.
And then you guys travel from that point. That's a new beginning. You guys travel together all through. See, so life is, we could remake life every day.
Yes.
So at one point, we have to come to a place that I need to be authentic.
Yes.
And that authenticity is to me.
Yes.
I need to be who I am. If I'm in that closet, that's who I need to be out here.
Yes.
Okay, so there'll be no surprises in any way.
Absolutely. I
I
like
agree. Yeah.
that. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
The
pretty
authentic
dope.
man.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Would you like to meet an authentic man?
Man. So we can be authentic together.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. This is awesome.
yeah.
You guys were great.
Thank
guys
you.
were
You
great.
too.
Thank you.
too.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
I
Mr.
love
Inspires.
it. Time just flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just having a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, authentic is the ideal. It does not matter what your past is. Right?
No.
It does not matter what your past is. Your past is the past. It has nothing to do with your now, and it shouldn't have anything to do with your future. You control yourself,
Yes.
right? And when you desire to be better than where you were yesterday, matter of fact, be better than where you were 5 minutes ago, because you will continue to learn, you will continue to grow, and you will continue to evolve. Man, it makes you beautiful. And when you make healthy choices, you know, because you control yourself, you can go either go right or go left. So when you make healthy choices, no matter what, at all times, it's a breath of fresh air.
Yes.
And that breath of fresh air sprinkles
Yeah.
all over, all around you. And people get a little sprinkle of you here and there, and you just operate in this beautiful essence.
Yes.
Man, this is great.
It's good stuff.
Yes.
Well, hey, if you have not known what it is to be authentic, I think we just elaborated some excellence, you know, in this moment. And this is great.
It was.
It's great.
Yeah.
If y'all want to expand more or have any kind of questions on, you know, again, what it takes to be a man or to be authentic, like, we will answer it. Like, you just voice it, you just voice your questions, and we will have access to answer that question, share our thoughts, you know, share our wisdom, even share our experiences, because you yourself can be authentic. And this also goes into you being, whether you're a man or a woman,
Yes.
the same principle applies.
Yes.
And when you are authentic, nobody can take that away from you,
Right.
no matter what. And if you ever tested, guess what? We got your back. So just know that without a doubt. We're going to pause here, and we're going to pick this up at different times. So
Okay.
we want you to like and share this video.
Yeah.
And subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, post your questions, whatever it is.
Yes.
Right? And we have more coming for you because we enjoy doing what we do.
Yes.
So thank you for your time. One love, big hugs, and until next time, peace.
Peace.
Bless.
Already.
Already.
That's
Y'all have
my
a good
favorite
day.
part.